Yeah, good day once again, viewers. Um, those of us that have not watched the first video, I have explained how this movement or the triangle was drawn, this bearing was drawn. This is the question once again. The aircraft that took off from an airstrip that take a speed of 35 km per hour and took move on a bearing 15 degree for 2 hours, then changes courses and flew on another bearing of 100 degree. Average changes are not move the average route now changes to 20 kilometer 22 km per hour, and for another 2.5 hours. You say we are asked to find the distance, and this is the distance. Okay, this is the distance. So that is what we want to do now. I don't want to take your time. Let's find the distance. Then in the next video we are going to solve the bearing from the air strip. Okay, the bearing from the airstrip. So what will now happen is, let's go straight and solve. From the initial video, don't forget I said we are going to change. They are supposed to put this in kilometer, but they put the speed. So we are going to change this to speed, to kilometer, distance. We are going, because what we need is the distance, because a point to a point is distance, not the speed. A point to a point here is distance. A point to a point here is distance. That's why you can see in the question they say distance from. It did not say speed from. So we are going to change this value of speed they give back to distance, and distance will always be in kilometer, not kilometer per hour. So what we are going to do is, let's move to the solution. This is it. If you, from our primary school or our GS class, we know the formula for speed is distance traveled all over time taken. Now since we want to find distance, which is d, then I will use x for speed, then t for time. All we just need is to cross multiply speed times time will give equals to distance. So d is equal to speed multiplied by time. So for us to find the first distance, that's the first movement, the first distance will be d equal to speed. What is the speed in that question? Is 35 km per hour. We put 35. Then what time? 2 hours. So when we multiply, we have 70, which is 70 kilometers. So the distance is 70 kilometers. Okay. The second distance will be, the speed is 22 km per hour. We put 22 km per hour times 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours is 2.5. Because half hour is 0.5. Okay, because so half is 30 is what is 30 minutes, which is half of 60 minutes. So 2.5. So we multiply, it's going to give us 55 kilometers. So you can now come to your drawing and say, okay, the distance here is 70, while the distance here is what? 55. Okay, distance here is 70 and distance here is what? 55 kilometers. Then you can now apply, like I said from the first video, since you have one angle, then you have two distance or side, then you can apply your what to find this. Don't forget that I labeled the each point A, B, C by myself. This one, this capital letter A, this is the small letter A. This is the side that faces it. Okay. B, this is the side that faces, which is where they ask us to find. Small letter B. C, this is the side that faces, you have small letter C. Because by the time you get to the cosine formula that said you are going to use, anytime you have just two sides and one angle, apply cosine rule. There is sine rule too, but in this case, when you have two sides and one, and one angle, you apply cosine rule. And now let's go straight to cosine rule. Now, cosine rule, this is what we are going to apply here. But since we are looking for that small b, okay, that is opposite to that 95 degree. So what we are going to, it will be b square equals to c square plus a square minus 2ac cos b, because b is the one we are looking for, cos b. We are looking for the small b, which is the distance of that plane from the starting point. Okay, Now we write b square. Now 70 is the c square, okay, which is the new kilometer, plus a square, which is the new kilometer from b to c. So that's 55. All those distances I just got here, okay, those are the c or a and c or c and a. You put them there, then minus 2ac, the same value, they are ac there, you put them there, you multiply them, cos 95. Then you move down, find the value of 70 square, which is 49,000 or 4,900, sorry. Then 55 square is 3,025. Then minus, you can multiply this immediately. 2 times 70 times 55 is going to give you 7,700. Multiplied by cos 95, you find cos 95 is negative 0.0872. Because why is it negative? Because this is second quadrant and cosine is what? Negative in second quadrant. That's why it's negative. Okay, you come back here, b square, then you add these two together, it's going to give you 7,925 plus. Why is it plus here? Because we say it was, if you add this, you have 7,925, so it's supposed to be minus. No, what you are going to look at is you are multiplying these two, and this is minus 7,700 multiplied by minus 0.0872. Minus times minus is plus. That's why you have plus. Then you now multiply this value together. You are going to have 671.44. Then you add the two together, it's going to give you 8,596.44. Then we are looking for b, which is the distance from this of that plane from the starting point, not b square. So we need to eliminate this square. So you have both sides. When you have these two, we cancel this, it will remain b here. Then this half you make become the square root of this one, okay. Then you find the square root of this value to 2 decimal places according to the question. The question said, let me go back gently. The question said the distance from the starting point to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's go back to our question. So when you find square root of this one, to 2 decimal places will give you 92.72. This is 2 decimal places. So this is the distance of that plane from the starting point. So meet me at the next video for the second question on how to find the bearing. Bye bye for now. Like my page and comment. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask.